Good morning, Americans. This is your favorite alien on Sunday, July 9th, 2023, sitting in for Paul Harvey this early morning. Stand by for the rest of the story. Well, the rest of the story is about Ed. Ed was meeting with his publisher, and he had this story that he knew it was a hot sell. It was a no can't miss super thing, okay? And his publisher said, well, Ed, sounds good. I read it and it feels good, but I don't know if I can publish it. Well, okay. And about a week later, Ed gets a phone call from his editor saying, well, I'm sorry, Ed, but the publisher says he can't publish this one. Okay. He didn't deter Ed. He went on to publisher number 2. Week later, phone call from his agent. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, sorry, Ed, can't publish this. Okay. 3 weeks later, and 9 more publishers. Strike. Oh boy, so he's down 0-11 on his can't miss project. And can't miss project was, well, the way I would describe it, he called it something different, but I would describe it Amerika with a K. Amerika with a K. And it was like the Soviet Union owned Amerika. They didn't invade America, but the people acted like they were part of the Soviet Union. And as an alien from another planet, I did read that story, by the way. It's a true story, people, okay? And Ed is a true guy. And I like the story. In fact, it reminds me of today's Amerika. Yeah, very much like today's Amerika. Well, Ed ended up with 32 negative rejections of it. And he didn't understand. Because Ed was an interesting guy. He was a racist, eugenics, and very much would fit the Soviet Union mold of person of thinking. He had ways of thinking that mirror today's American extremist Republicans and extremist Democrats. Yes. And the extremist Americans' way of thinking. Whether you consider yourself conservative Republicans, blue dog Democrats, extremist Republicans, extremist Democrats, right Republicans, rightist, extremist rightist, extremist leftist, whatever you call yourself. It's all in this story by Ed. So, 20 years later, Ed decided, hey, here, Orson Welles tried H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds, and he made it into a play, and boy, did that scare the bejeebers out of Americans. Yahoo! Okay, so he changed his story and wrote about the Moon Man attacking Earth and invading Earth. The Moon Man. Yeah. Well, guess what? He sold it like a hot potato. And the only difference between the Moon Man and his story about Amerika, and like I called it, Amerika with a K, was he just changed the plot from Soviet invading Americans to Moon Man invading the Earth. Yeah, and the people grabbed it up in 1939, 1940. Oh boy. During World War II, that was hot. Yeah. The Moon Man. Now you see, Americans, the story's original name was Under the Red Flag. And Ed, the author, whose story, The Moon Man, sold like hotcakes. You know him for another thing. Tarzan. Yes, I'm talking about Edgar Rice Burroughs, people, who wrote this in 1919 and couldn't sell it. But if you read that story, you'll find that it's like the United States is today in the 21st century, 100 years after he wrote it in 1919. You see, Edgar Rice Burroughs had a way of thinking that mirrors you guys today, extremist, racist, and my way is this: we're going to cut this off, we're going to cut that off, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and we don't think about the other individuals, but ourselves, our movement, and what we want to happen. That was Edgar Rice Burroughs in 1919, and all the way to his death in 1950. You guys remember him because he created a town in California and named it after his namesake, Tarzana, California. And that's where he's buried, by the way. And you remember Edgar Rice Burroughs for Tarzan. But look up Under the Red Flag and The Moon Man, and you'll see what I mean about Edgar Rice Burroughs. He mirrors these crazy extremist leftist Democrats and extremist rightist Republicans, these, conservative evangelical Republicans, Blue Dog Democrats, conservative Democrats and conservative Republicans. Is there such a word anymore? They don't exist. But anyway, these are Edgar Rice Burroughs' people. And this is the way America is. So in a way, Under the Red Flag does exist today. The Soviets didn't invade you. Their minds did. Their way of thinkings have. So you are Soviets to a certain extent. This is your favorite alien sitting in for Paul Harvey this morning. And now, you know the rest of the story. Mr. Harvey up there with the boss. If you see Mr. Rice Burroughs up there, tell him that his story has finally happened. The United States has taken it, even though they've never read it, and they have applied it in real life. Good day.